Welcome back. We are returning to our earlier discussion, asking your thoughts on the Israel-Iran ceasefire. But before we get to your calls, we're joined this morning from Capitol Hill by Congresswoman Jennifer Kiggans, Republican of Virginia, and a member of the Armed Services and Veterans Affairs Committees. Congresswoman Kiggans, thank you for being with us.
Good morning.
We'll start by getting your reaction to both the news of the ceasefire and potential violations.
Yeah, well, I would say both sides are ready for peace. This was a decisive action from President Trump to the world that states we cannot have a nuclear-armed Iran. And the decision he made to strike those 3 nuclear facilities in Iran was the right one. We, of course, are concerned about our men and women in uniform who are in the region. I represent a district in Virginia that has a large Navy population. I'm a Navy veteran. I'm a Navy spouse. I'm also a Navy mom now. So a lot of interest for me as a representative to make sure that those people are safe. But what President Trump did, again, was the right call. We cannot have a country that has been stating since 1979, death to America, death to Israel. The world is a safer place because of the actions he took a couple days ago, and America's a safer place as well.
And for our audience, letting them know your service, you were on the Armed Services Committee, you were a Navy pilot for 10 years flying H-46 and H-3 helicopters. You also completed 2 deployments to the Persian Gulf. Your concerns about the escalation and what you've seen from the 2 sides?
Yeah, we know that the goal is ultimately peace, but it's peace through strength, and President Trump is the person to do that. We had 4 years of administration where we didn't see that strength on the world stage, and we saw the world become a more dangerous place. We saw Russia invading Ukraine. We saw what happened in Israel. We see China, who's arming itself and being more aggressive every day. So finally, we have a president who is here to exude that strength on the world stage, and that deterrence, that's how we keep peace. It's always a peace through strength goal. So we are working on the peace part. I too desire a ceasefire that is kept by both sides. I know it's been changing overnight and we're still kind of waiting and watching today, but that is the ultimate goal. This is not an extended conflict. This is a very decisive 3-facility strike to end Iran's nuclear program.
President Trump announcing that ceasefire yesterday, and then this morning saying that both sides have violated it. How should the U.S. respond if we continue to see ongoing aggressions?
Continue to push for peace. We have diplomacy that we're utilizing, but that is ultimately the goal. So was the ceasefire violated? They need to work that out, but I think both sides are wanting that, and we see that desire from both sides, so we need to encourage to push them that way. You know, this is not an extended conflict. This was not any type of start of any type of war or extended just aggression on our part. This was, again, a very decisive. We wanted to end Iran's nuclear program, which we did a great job. And special shout out and kudos to, again, our military men and women. We involved all 3 branches of service and the Marine Corps, and just had all of the United States military might. We have the greatest military in the world. So I think people should take that piece away, that the United States is back. We are a strong country with a strong military, and we have decisive leadership, and we're not going to tolerate this type of aggression from places like Iran, who operates terrorist proxies throughout the world and is a threat to so many countries, but especially our own.
House members, yourself included, will be receiving a classified briefing at about 3 p.m. today. What do you want to know?
Yeah. I will be interested about the safety of our troops that are in that area, what steps we've taken to ensure that they are kept out of harm's way. I represent a district with so many military families that I know are concerned for their safety. I'm concerned for their safety, and as a military mom, but just as a representative from a district, that we send those people. We send our Navy from the East Coast and a lot of our armed forces branches who live in Hampton Roads, Virginia, who get sent into harm's way. So they are there. We know that our families are watching. We are proud of them. We know that they are brave, and we applaud their efforts and their bravery. But that's my biggest concern today going into this brief.
And Senator Tim Kaine, senator from your state there in Virginia, has said he plans to force a vote on his resolution that would block President Trump from taking any further military action in Iran unless it's approved by the House and Senate first. Your response: is congressional approval needed for further actions?
It is not needed. President Trump acted well within his constitutional rights, Article 2 of the Constitution, which states he can take immediate unilateral action. We've seen this happen on both sides of the fence when President Obama acted in 2011 and Libya in 2015. 2014 with ISIS, and then we saw as recently as last year in 2024 when President Biden ordered those Houthi strikes in Yemen. So it doesn't matter what political party you're in, this is not a partisan issue. The president has that constitutional right, and President Trump has acted within that right.
And along those same lines, one of your fellow House members, Representative Thomas Massie, a Republican of Kentucky, who has opposed President Trump and his plan for Iran, has called President Trump's actions unconstitutional. In response, a new super PAC that is aligned with President Trump is aiming to unseat Representative Massie. Is an action like that appropriate?
Yeah, I mean, I would say there's different responses on both sides. We've even seen Democrats that have been supportive of the action. So it shouldn't be a partisan issue. Partisan politics isn't, that's not where we're focused here. We're focused on de-arming Iran's nuclear power, which is what we've done, and I couldn't be more proud of this administration and this president.
And another topic that has come up is the potential regime change there for Iran. What is your reaction to that possibility?
Yeah, this was not the goal. A regime change was not the goal. I mean, we'll see where this continues in the days and weeks ahead, but the goal of this particular strike with American military involvement was to de-arm Iran's nuclear capability, which we did. We did very decisively, we did very quickly, and I think, again, the takeaway needs to be a message to the world that America is a strong country with the best military ever, and we need to maintain peace, but it's through strength and it's through American military might. So I couldn't be more grateful for what's happened and for our men and women who are there actually getting the mission done.
And one last question for you. President Trump, as we speak, is on his way to the Netherlands for the start of the NATO summit. What are you going to be watching for coming out of that?
Yeah, you know, we're stronger together and our allied partners are out there, and it's a time when we need our allied partners. And I know there's going to be a big push for an increase in defense spending with all of our allied nations, and I think I heard a 5% goal, and that's a good goal to strive. America's at its lowest defense spending since the end of World War II. We're approximately 2.9%. We need to get back up there because that's how we maintain peace throughout the world. The needs of the military are great right now, especially on the Navy side. We see a lot of focus on shipbuilding. We don't have the number of ships we need. We don't have the number of aircraft we need. We don't have the quality of life measures we need to do some base infrastructure improvements, be able to take care of the people and their families. So we need that plus up in the defense budget right now. So I hope that we also need our allied partners to chip in because America needs to do it with friends and with our alliances. So I hope that there's a lot of discussion about that today in the meeting that President Trump is attending, that our allied partners are here to be on that team and to do that mission with us.
Congresswoman Jennifer Kiggans is a Republican of Virginia. Congresswoman, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thanks for having me.